All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episode 44. All right, with the Requiem for the Alliance, y'all.
Yep, it's underway.
Ruined Hall has made a good series of moves.
Yep, indeed. And he survived, which was also kind of important.
Yeah, that was only the second strongest Playboy in the galaxy that he was up against.
That's right.
Given that he is the number one Playboy,
in
he's not
actuality,
going to be outdone by a pretender from the Alliance.
Even if it means he has to go through a bit of a farcical dance that is hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
But
exactly.
So that started. The ships have now been sent to Iserlon.
Wink. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So now what's the next step? Who knows? Hilda's cousin was mentioned, which seemed a bit ominous, maybe, given the ominous foreshadowing at his last ominous encounter.
For a character that is seemingly so inconsequential in the grand scale of this space opera, on the eve of an invasion, she goes to visit him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, it might just be nothing, and it might be something where, if anything, she was just wanting to say goodbye.
Sure, maybe this is the introduction of, yes, remember him, he is in the story, so that way it can sort of set up the direct actions and things that will, cause him to have his big impact.
Yeah. Yang has set up a couple tactics. We'll get to see, really, if Ruined Hall actually plays into them. I assume he might, because he is still meaning to be a distraction in that regard. And I would say, actually, for Ruined Hall, playing a little bit into Yang's tactics would keep Yang more occupied with defending Iserlon, because then it's a thing of where he's like, oh, wait, maybe we can actually
see if he
get
can
a good victory
bait
here.
Yang's greed, basically.
Sure, yeah, by giving him a little bit of a taste of victory.
Right.
The Alliance is still, holding. They are operating on false info that the Empire is reinforcing Iserlon. How long will it go before they figure it out? Or how long will it be before forces in Fezzan start to act in a way that is incongruent with the higher-ups' plans with the Empire?
Yeah, Julian can still be that early warning system. Could be.
Yeah, even if it's a slow early warning system, it will be earlier than, massive Empire fleet entering Alliance space. Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.
Well, Empire's got Fezzan.
Yeah, I was super wrong about Rubinsky. Like, holy crap. He was like,
he played
kid.
Kesserling like a fiddle.
Yeah, he's like, kid, you were too obvious.
Yeah.
Dominique was, on my side. That's the part that just made this, painfully obvious in retrospect. But I'm like, why did I forget, from the very beginning when we even met Dominique, she was Rubinsky.
Yep.
Why would she suddenly be double dealing? We had nothing to know about her character to assume that she would do that. So you would almost want to go and just, who do we see her with first? Well, Rubinsky.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And Kesserling, bro, you
got so thirsty.
You got so thirsty, so greedy, because okay, Dominique, for instance, he could have gotten any random hooker to talk about his plans to. Still would have been a bad idea, but but
this was personal.
This
wasn't about having someone to talk to his plans about through. This was about him sticking it to
Rubinsky,
his old man.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think he was doing that just to process his emotions out to Dominique. I think it was I'm going to have sex basically with the woman that my father is with, just so that I can have that, I'm better than you, Dad.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, dude, even if he's only been the Iansher for 4 years, apparently.
Landsher. I don't think it's Iansher.
Oh, okay.
It's Landsher.
Because it looks like an uppercase I.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Okay.
Well, we'll check later, but it's okay.
But
there you go. On the notes.
Oh, okay. Yep. But so in this situation, you could have maybe done something. And he was even admitting, he was like, I was kind of curious to see what you'd come up with, you know, because maybe you would be worth, having as sort of an heir to my power and all that stuff afterwards.
Pass this on to you
because you are still my son, you're clever, you're pretty competent, but you totally blew it when it came down to the final stretch, my guy. So
wow. I love that the show did this because I so bought into the idea of Kesserling's, like, I would say somewhat emotionally, like, kind of resonant journey, as he's the one that's like, this guy was an asshole to my mother. Mm-hmm. He let her die.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay him back for this. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Good luck with that. But then he also has the thing of like, no, I'm going to manipulate the church as well. I'm going to get this whole thing out from underneath his feet. And then I'll use the Empire's shifting of power here in order to basically shift things in my favor when we bring things back up. But both of them, in a lot of ways, were completely outdone by the fact that it's flat out stupid to let tens of thousands of ships enter your space like this and go, yeah, I'm sure they won't just completely seize power. That is the least favorite thing for Reinhardt to do. It's not like he completely toppled a 500-year dynasty in a few months to a year after rising to the Admiralty. Yeah. No.
I mean, the idea of being like, hey, I can be the competent new guy that's like, yo, I'm all for you, my dude. Let me run this place. I know how this place works, and I'll be a good manager for you.
That actually would have been a really good angle, because it could have been the thing of where he just even more makes Rubinsky like him to his own, like, kind of just like, oh, I hate you so much. And then when he's like, oh, so my vengeance is not going to be seizing power. My vengeance is going to be erasing you. Kesserling could have done a thing where he then makes it be a thing of like, yeah, your rule is only going to last a few years, and the time that you were here and stuff like that, I will write the history books in that you gave up power to the Empire. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm going to be a mid-level manager of an Empire-led, vassal state. But in a few years, I will be known as the greatest hero of Fezzan as I bring us out of Empire control, and you will be forgotten. You will be nothing more than my father. I will no longer be your son. That would have been genius. But no, he got so like thirsty to kill him.
Oh yeah, you could see it in his eyes.
Yeah, he was just I have to kill you.
Right. And you know what's great too is that if he actually was truly opportunistic, could have just stopped and thought about this for a second. Hold on, the Empire's invading.
Right.
Is Rubinsky gonna stick around? Nah, he's going to hide.
Wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He's not dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I want to be the person that basically welcomes Reinhardt with open arms kind of a thing, right?
Right.
You don't need to go to his house and kill him.
No, you really don't.
You just wait for him to leave and then be like, as everyone knows, I was the second command. I totally disagree with what, my treasonous, superior did.
Totally.
And as the coward that he is, he runs away because he fears your wrath or whatever. And then he's just like, but you know what? I'm going to try and make the best of a bad situation here. Let's, don't worry. You can depend on me. I didn't abandon you. Unlike that bald asshole, right?
You know what you're right about also is that in this example, Rubinsky was kind of like, well, I mean, I knew this was going to happen.
Even though he did talk about it as if he didn't, but it's like...
But he could kind of go like, if this happens, that's okay, because it was in some ways going to happen eventually. Like,
there was a good likelihood of it, and he might have even orchestrated it with Baltic potentially.
See, I don't think he did that necessarily.
Yeah,
specifically that.
I think he could have,
but I think he is going to go into the economic side of things, and he is basically thinking about this from the standpoint of we double dip both sides.
Sure, that's what they've been doing the whole time.
And we've constantly been giving victories to one side or the other.
Yeah,
and we alternate it in a specific way to maintain equilibrium. But what happened with the Alliance recently We gave them a really nice idea. You should invade with everything you got. And
that is true.
Bankrupted them.
Yeah.
What if the Empire invaded with everything they had, and it didn't bankrupt them, but it bankrolled them into Fezzan?
What do you mean?
Meaning that they put all their investments in making sure that this was something that could lead their economic state into some area in the black.
Well, and Fezzan definitely does have the spotlight of the galaxy on them right now, even if, like, regardless of the economical situation.
I think this was quiet. I don't think anyone is going to find out about this before it's too late. So I don't think anyone's looking there right now.
Very soon, Fezzan will have the galactic spotlight on them.
Or it's going to be the Fezzan Corridor Alliance nearest planet that's unlucky enough to be the first responders to...
Yeah. We still don't know how many ships Reinhardt has.
Heinesen, there's tens of thousands of ships on their way. Sure, it's like, I'm going to do the secret technique again.
Yeah, I don't think Trinit can do that this time.
Hey, Yang, I'm sending you 50,000 ships.
And I'm on one of them. Please save us.
Sorry, the mic's peaking a little bit there. I don't know what's going on there, so I'm gonna lower my volume a bit.
But so the stuff in Fezzan was great. It was wonderful to see something where the previous generation was competent, right? Because so far in this show, it's very much been like the old being supplanted by the new, right? You know, that coming full circle, the next generation. Julian is a great example of this, right?
In Fezzan with Henslow.
Right. Yeah. And yes, exactly. Henslow is a great example of the incompetence of the older generation that has become stagnant, right?
Right.
And Kesserling thought that was the situation with Rubinsky. Turns out he was very, very wrong.
Very wrong.
It's been, got here for a reason.
Right.
Now we have the whole thing with Julian just being wonderful.
Yep.
And I love that he throws out the joke of hey, you could always try and offer up the computer data, in exchange for, like, safety and whatnot. And he's like... And Julian's like, oh.
Julian's like, wow.
Yeah, I'll take the blame for it.
Yeah,
all right.
No, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the blame part of it is that on some level, there was valuable stuff that was unique to this, station.
Yep.
But I don't think it matters at this point. Right now, we might literally have saved the Alliance potentially just by this action, Julian. So well done. Good luck in getting into Alliance space. However, they set up two things by doing this. We now have that connection back to Boris Konev via his buddy, who is the smuggler guy.
The merchant dude, yeah.
Merchant dude, yeah. I believe we even got almost a little bit of a hint of him prior to this, but I don't remember him exactly. So maybe
I feel like he was a new character, but maybe not.
I think he is a new character specifically, but because we have a long list of characters here that we need to constantly reference back to, so that we are,
right. But I don't remember seeing him.
There's a Marinesk here. That was the guy that went to go grab.
Maybe that was him.
Pilot. So I think actually it was.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right.
I think it was him.
And this is one of those great things of, hey, the whole Boris Konev thing, Fezzan. It's like, when was that established? Like a long time ago. And it's like, all right, when are they going to be bringing this up? Because this is very intentional, sort of like, all right, set up this plot piece here. It's going to be important later.
Right.
But when? How? What's the situation? Here we go. Yeah, save Julian. Save the world.
And it's perfect as well, because with what they did with Boris and having him being kind of the spy subterfuge character here, and now being in Alliance space, we've set up also as well our first tri-faction group of sorts, in that we have nobility from the Empire, and then like Mercats in them. We have Julian, and kind of by extension Yang, kind of the good Alliance, people and stuff there. And then you have the freight runners, the smugglers, and them from Fezzan.
Fezzan connections, yeah.
Which, like, that's all three. That's everybody. That's everybody represented there.
Yeah, basically.
Like, the only thing you don't really have represented
is Reinhardt's new empire, maybe.
Well, the top of the top on both sides. Sure. You know, if you consider them to be unique factions. Yeah. But I wouldn't really, because basically they're all from the individual spots. But if things get even more subdivided in that regard, that's good for everyone that's not the empire. Just everyone in general. Because Reinhardt is now basically like one step away from Kaiser of the Universe. Like that is his goal. He is now staring at it in the face. He is having his quiet moment with Kirhais. And I mean, when I say he's one step away, I mean he is one big encounter with the Alliance fleet away.
Oh yeah, and
from being Kaiser of everything.
And he will cut through them like butter.
Yes.
The fact that Yang isn't with them, like, and they will outnumber the Alliance by a good amount, and Heinesen's defense system is down, like,
yeah,
they're screwed.
Yeah, there are maybe two things that are actually on the side of the Alliance here at all. No, the size of the Alliance actual, like, area of systems and stuff like that is big enough that they won't run through it all immediately.
Sure.
It will take some time.
Yeah, it'll take some time. So Yang will still have that potential option to try and get back.
Yes. And then the second part is the fact that we do have at least one good person in Alliance High Command in Bukak.
Oh.
And he could very well, I would say, save at least some portion of the Alliance fleet before it all goes to complete shit. And yet we have Trunet to deal with, who is going to cockroach his way to the finish line as he's going
in whatever way he can.
In whatever way he can.
So there are a few things that are standing out to me as potentially very ironic and hilarious. One is when our Alliance High Commissioner on Fezzan said, like, hey, Henslow was like, hey, Julian, you'll take the blame for this, right?
Right.
Replace blame with credit. Like, because okay, think about it this way. Unless the Alliance people are just even more incompetent than they normally are, right? Which, I mean, they could be. You know, there are always new depths that they could go to. The other people weren't going to delete all that crucial data as the Empire was invading us through Fezzan, and you were the one who actually took the initiative and deleted all that stuff so it didn't fall into enemy hands. Way to go.
You're a goddamn hero.
You are a goddamn hero.
Yep.
Right? Here's
what does
3
that make
promotions.
Us? Big damn heroes, sir.
Exactly. On the other hand, let's say the escape doesn't work and he gets nabbed by the Empire. This was the little son of a bitch that deleted the data.
I mean, no one's gonna point that at him.
No, I know.
No one
I know.
can really.
Right. No one can really. But
and, I mean, and his buddy there, the lieutenant or whatever his name was. There's no way he's going to be anything but supremely loyal to.
Definitely not. But the fact that Henslow
to our good boy.
But since Marino,
that's right.
But since Henslow, or wait, no.
Oh wait, no, Machungo, Louis Machungo.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. But because what's his face commissioner guy is with them, Henslow, I could definitely see it being something where if they were to get nabbed up, he starts just talking about stuff, blabbing, whatever, because there's this fan fiction, and I know it's a fan fiction in my head.
Julian meets Reinhardt.
Right, yeah. Right,
and becomes the new Kirhais and all that.
Something similar along those lines.
No, see, what it's going to be is that Hildegard von Mariendorf will adopt Julian.
Yes.
And they will start.
Reinhardt and Hilda will raise him as their son.
They will start the new, wave of I would say, non-violent politics within the Empire, so that by the time Reinhardt basically gets to that point where, he's kind of won, and he's kind of now like dealing with more like resistance and stuff like that, because I really see that being the direction they're going here, because I don't see how the Alliance survives this.
I don't, even if they throw wrenches in the works.
It then becomes a thing of where Julian becomes basically the basically the Alliance side of things.
Sure, right, because he is very much that next generation from even our young characters
and then
here.
Mariendorf is basically his ally in the Empire side, and then they basically are the ones that broker peace.
Sure, yeah.
Because I don't think Yang's going to make it through this, and I think Reinhardt is even less likely to make it through this.
He's a golden god. He'll shine bright like the sun, and then he'll go out
flash
in a supernova. Yeah. So, but that's that little thing. I would love it if something like that happened.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. But then we have Reinhardt, basically. Yes. Reinhardt has now successfully, with his fleet, through Mittermeier, taken control of Fezzan.
Mm-hmm.
They've done what they've set out to do.
Yep.
And the next step is the Alliance. Reinhardt is still not doing well. He goes in, sees Heinessen, looks, with hope and longing, raises his hand towards, the sky, classic fashion, to grasp his dream, his purpose. And sees Keir Heiss and his sister in there as well. And there's just this moment of where we are reminded that this boy is going to fulfill his dream, but at what cost?
Right.
At what cost, man? Not to the galaxy, just to you, just to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mittermeier was wonderful. The way he was just like, by the way, if there's any pillaging or raping or anything like that,
I'm gonna
executions straight away.
Yep.
Well, sure. I guess we'll hold a trial, but you'll be executed. And then it's
he made good on it.
And he made good on it. And the fact that there were only 4 people he needed to execute, it's like, damn.
Something like that.
Like maybe that was just one execution for show,
Right. Yeah, the main problem is what they brought up to set up with a later bit there is that while his systems were effective, everyone is in a state of shock right now.
Yep.
And thus, in a little bit of time, and not long given how things were going at that bar, I loved how the old guy basically started to wax about I've lived too long.
I thought this would last forever,
Yeah, but
who's
that,
to say that? Yeah.
Right, but he led with I've lived too long. I got to watch, the Guldenbaum dynasty fall. Do I have to watch Fezzan fall too? It was almost this thing of I'll go out in a blaze of glory. Revolution. Yeah. I'd rather die than watch Fezzan fall.
Right.
There's this uniquely kind of weird kind of free market, all that with Fezzan and everything like that, where they're their insults and stuff.
The politician comment was great.
That was so funny.
Politicians are people who can't even make money on their own, so they go into politics.
Right. The joke actually, I would say in the U.S. actually was kind of funny. I've heard this one, especially in circles. I used to frequent a little bit more. Was if you couldn't make it, in terms of job and stuff like that, and you were you were like a guy, and stuff like that, so you had a lot of things going for you. You went either into politics or into preaching of some kind, and it was just this thing of wow, how true was that when I grew up and started watching people go through that thing of I don't really have any skills that are in the functional kind of analytical or tactile.
It's not as easy to market kind of a thing.
Or just at the base level, they was I was decent with people, and it's politics or preaching.
Oh boy.
I am good at convincing people of things that I say are worthwhile. And then I kind of look at, YouTube, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Shit.
We are good at convincing people that Julian must be protected.
That's true.
Because we don't need convincing about that.
Exactly.
It's just how it is.
Right. And protect we must and we will.
Yep.
Okay. Reinhardt's here.
Yeah.
It's time.
And they have the space charts and everything. So now it's all you do is win, no from here on.
What?
Yep.
He's got the galaxy on his mind. He's never going to give it up.
Yeah. I loved the whole thing of showing the Empire troops being wait, where are we going? This is weird. This is a strange route to get to Isolon. We're going to Fezzan. Oh, okay. I see. All right.
To follow up on my bad joke from earlier, when Reinhardt, left the building, the ship, all the hands went up and they stayed there, and they stayed there. Yeah. What was it? Sieg Kaiser.
Sieg Kaiser, yeah. I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Reminder.
And that rotating shot of Reinhardt as he like comes out, and it's like
hair billowing,
and the sparkles and everything, and then the crowd's just all like jam packed, down below, just chanting his name. It's like,
to be fair, a lot of those were his soldiers, so it
I'm
makes sense
sure
why they were.
And if you
out.
if you get a planet, right, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of people here. Some of them will like you, even if you're invading. So, yeah.
But here we go, y'all. Fezzan corridor's taken. Isolon corridor is locked in, and the alliance is next.
So it begins.
So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access there, so you can chat with us and the community about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. Wrote a sci-fi novel called Battle Lines. It's on Amazon. Link's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.